wedding dog van.
Doug.
That anyone can have. We're the three best friends that anyone can have. All right.
And we'll never, ever leave.
Alrighty.
We're back.
We're back. And by back, we mean racing is back. The World Series back on this weekend.
Oh
Who's
my
frothing?
God. Wow. Is this the most
Massive.
exciting week for you
Yeah,
guys?
it's like Christmas.
It actually is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Hang on, I haven't got my run sheet up.
Underprepared.
Yeah, I know. I got
Come on.
I got too excited with the intro.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So on that note, welcome back. This is episode 3 of the Unfunded podcast, where triathlon talk meets real talk. We are a show by athletes for athletes. I'm Lachlan Jones, professional triathlete. This is my good friend,
Leighton Wall, also a triathlete.
professional triathlete.
Professional triathlete, yes.
There
And I am Sarah, professional producer of podcasts.
Nice.
we are. Yeah.
Love that.
All right. Energy's high.
It
That
is.
That was good. That was
Yeah.
fun because we were all about to fall asleep like 5 seconds ago. I was anyway.
Is it a big week for you guys? You training like super hard now?
As
yeah.
always.
Yeah. I guess nothing's changed, is it?
No, not really.
Mm.
Well, races are coming up, so
Yeah.
it's heating up.
Again, like the pros are racing, we're racing. What do we got? 5 weeks until the big
I'm
one.
racing in 5 weeks until probably
The first big one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've both got what, Australian champs, Oceania champs.
Yeah. Tassie.
Yeah,
in
down in
5
Tassie,
weeks, yeah.
5 weeks. So yeah, everyone's got racing coming up. So
Okay.
everyone's excited.
Okay, I'm pumped.
Yeah, you've got some.
I can't wait.
I can't wait
for
to
you
tell you
guys.
all about it.
No, I'm feeding off your energy. I feel.
Yeah, cool. But yeah, a couple big weeks. We've got a big week this week. This is a big week for you, Leighton. It's Valentine's Day. What are you doing?
Wow.
Leighton's
put
look in
me
his
on the
eyes.
spot.
Yeah.
Valentine's Day.
scared.
Well,
Well, actually, so this gets released on Friday, which is Valentine's Day.
Yep.
So it's Monday now.
What I've done,
what have you got for Stell Bear?
I've got an A5 Wagyu. I'm making a truffle sauce with the finest of Pinot Noirs.
You're fucking with me. Are you
Is
actually?
this real?
No,
Oh, I was about to.
She's got really excited right now and let her
You-
down.
yeah.
No, I don't know.
No, you got me excited there.
Yeah, I know.
I thought you actually done something. So you've played nothing.
No, not yet. Have you, Lockie? By yourself?
Well, no, you have a girlfriend. I don't have a girlfriend. So
Okay. Is that true? Or what's going on?
okay, I don't
Awfully quiet. Okay, let's moving on for Lockie.
That's
then.
scary. Hopefully, I have something prepared by Friday.
Yeah.
Hopefully, when
Yeah,
this gets
yeah.
released, I'll have a date. I'll let you know.
Okay.
Cool.
I have a date. I
Yeah.
have a Valentine's Day date.
We're gonna have to follow up on this and see how it
Yeah,
went.
we'll
I think
see.
next week. That's
Okay,
cool.
this is very much a latent segment that I wanted to be segment.
It's thrown.
Yeah, I didn't like that getting thrown back
Yeah.
at
Good.
me. Yeah, what else is on?
Super Bowl. It was on Monday. Did you watch it?
No, I watched the highlights.
The
It's just at an
highlights.
awkward time for us.
Yeah,
isn't
it is. It's right during work hours.
I mean,
But-
the Super Bowl holds a pretty special place in my heart.
Mm.
does
to
it,
be
Lockie?
It
Go
does.
on.
Why?
It does.
Why? Why does it hold a special place?
Well,
Let's plug yourself.
okay, so there's in the elite sport of triathlon, it's hard to be number one at something, isn't it? Like it's hard to be the best at something, or finish your career being the only person to have achieved something. I think I can probably say I'm the only triathlete that has ever been in a Super Bowl commercial.
Oh,
Yeah.
what? The only Aussie?
No, I can't think of any other triathlete
I
that
reckon we
would
need
be.
to fact check this, Sarah.
Okay.
I think you can fact check it, but
I don't.
I also don't think my name's just going to come up there
No,
saying
definitely not.
Lachlan Jones has been in one. But
No, I'm
yeah.
googling triathletes and Super Bowl ads.
So you flashed up for a second, did you, Lockie?
Yep,
Ah.
in 2 years in a row. This year's one and last year's one.
It says here, okay, first thing that come up after a Google is, did triathletes make the best Super Bowl commercial ever?
Oh, that's going to suck.
Oh.
Is that? No.
Oh, they must be talking about mine.
That's what I'm talking about, because this was last year, 2024. So
Maybe
That-
you're wrong.
Okay, I don't remember another triathlete being in there. Who are they talking about?
I don't know. Let's have a look. It says no.
Nah, they're wrong.
No,
I still stand, but
I think
that's
it's
not
a
it.
Subway.
Yeah.
No, was it a Subway ad?
No, it was a body science ad.
Okay, no, it's definitely not you.
I don't think that was. No, they're not elite though. I'd like to think that I'm going to finish my career being the only triathlete to have been in a Super Bowl, and we can put. We're putting it on the Unfunded pod.
Well, that's already incorrect.
Yeah,
that's not it. They're not professional. I don't even. You don't
Doesn't
even
matter.
know. No, that's just on a triathlon Instagram. We don't even know if that was actually on. That could be fake.
Okay.
Fake news.
All right.
Yeah, they're full of
to
it.
follow this up. But that's exciting.
Yeah,
What kind of ad was it?
It was for body science. It was for body science, their energy cans.
Yeah,
so
okay.
it was a photo of me running around the track shirtless, obviously.
Obviously, yes.
What's new?
What else would sell
sex cells,
energy stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. Was it a serious ad or a funny ad? Or?
No, it was pretty serious. It was. I mean, it was just short clips of athletes doing athlete things. Really,
Okay.
we were just running around. Some others were lifting weights. I obviously wasn't lifting weights.
We're not lifting weights.
I just stick to my strengths and that's run. But yeah, I thought it was cool. You obviously don't, Sarah.
Oh no, I think it's really cool. The fact
it's
you're in
cool,
an ad
yeah.
in general is great.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
good for
cool.
you.
Thanks, thank you.
No, his ego's gone bigger
Yeah,
again.
yeah,
Sorry.
you kind of deflated it a little bit.
Whoops.
I think like the coolest thing that happened this week in terms of the podcast.
And there's been little rumblings of a super fan.
Yeah, we've got a fan of the pod.
A
We do?
big fan
Yeah, big
of
fan.
the podcast. And he's a big triathlete.
Well
known.
I think you actually insulted him in the first episode.
Oh.
So he obviously
yeah.
doesn't listen. He just sees the reels because if he knew what Sarah said about him, he probably wouldn't be a fan.
I don't know the guy. Okay, we're talking about Hayden Wild, right?
Yeah, Hayden Wild's in our DMs.
Yes. You did slide
Hayden
Huge.
Wild is in our DMs.
Big fan.
He had a bit to say. Or should we say what he had?
Nah.
Yeah,
That's
well, you know
between
what?
us and him.
Yeah, we're friends. He's a friend of the pod. So
Yeah, friend of the pod.
we'll be respectful and we won't say what his opinion of a certain topic was, but
What?
Yeah.
You can't do that.
he's on our side.
Yeah,
he's on our side.
Well, we've got to bring Hayden
So,
on to
yeah.
tell us
Yeah,
exactly
yeah.
what he said.
Exactly right.
He's got some things that he wants to see happen in 2025 as
Yeah.
well. And he agreed with some of ours.
Yeah, it's
So-
good to see that like a high profile athlete actually agreed with some of our points, which is pretty cool.
Absolutely. And is following our Instagram page, which is
No,
of
he's not.
course,
No.
the Unfunded.
No, he's not.
What?
He didn't. He messaged us, but he didn't follow us.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
But still big fan. Shout out to Hayden Wild.
Yeah.
Call out. And the Unfunded Pod is our Instagram. I'm trying to get that
Oh,
out
sorry.
there. Yes,
yeah, I'm
sir.
just saying he doesn't follow us.
Okay, gotcha.
That kind of hurt a little bit.
Just a little.
Good enough for a DM and not good enough for a follow.
He'll get there.
Oh well.
Yeah, awesome. So that's I guess that's just a little bit of a catch up on what's going on in our lives and
Yep.
the world of everything.
Good. Well,
Big
how about
things
what's
for
on
the
in the
pod.
world of triathlon then?
World of triathlon. There's a bit of beef going on,
Oh,
and
Yeah.
we're all for it.
what?
Loving it, yeah.
More
We're
drama?
loving it. Yeah, there's a bit of drama.
We dropped the podcast. We asked for more beef, and suddenly
Yeah,
there's more beef.
there's more beef.
Is that a coincidence? Or
I
what?
think people are listening to what we want.
Yeah, exactly right.
Okay.
You say because you're the one that
Yeah,
brought this to my attention.
yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
know that this was going on.
Lockie didn't know, but Yellow Gaines or Gins, Hins.
I think it's games.
Yeah, I don't know. Belgium.
Belgium.
And Morgan Pearson had a bit of a back and forth on the old, because he has a podcast, Yella.
Mhm.
It's pretty trendy now. It's going through the squad. We have the best podcast in the squad, I might say.
Is that what the squad is saying?
Yeah, no.
I would
So-
say it.
Yeah, we're
Again,
saying it.
back yourself. Yeah, we do.
But yeah, so they had a bit of beef on the social media where Yella said he didn't think that Morgan deserved a spot on the T100 tour. Because he is a wild card, Morgan Pearson.
Are you having a Google search right now, Lockie?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
you
That's
do.
what I'm doing down here.
So that's my job. Not that
Sorry.
I do a very good job of that.
So
trying
no,
to
but it
find
was good to see. Like they had a bit of back and forth. Yella obviously said that he didn't think that Morgan deserved a spot on the tour. Morgan didn't like that.
Yeah.
And there you have it, a little bit of a rivalry, which I want to see. That
Yeah, here
brings
we
me
go.
into watching the races now.
I've got it. So this is a quote from Yella Gaines. He said, "I was surprised to see him," referring to Morgan Pearson, "as a hot shot when there are so many people that deserve it." So basically saying people deserve it over him.
Yeah.
And then Morgan comes back saying, "I was listening to Yella's podcast and I thought he was kind of like Morgan shouldn't have been invited. It was kind of insulting. It's a hot shot. They want to pick someone with a bit of X factor. Maybe he's a little worried." Ooh.
Fighting
So,
talk.
what do you guys think? Let's make more controversy. Do you
I
think
lo-
he deserves to be there?
Well, I said last week
Yeah.
I picked him as my like breakout or
Yep.
underdog for the year because, as he kind of said, and Yella thinks it, you don't know whether he should be or not, but he can come out. I think he can come out and have an absolute blinder at one of the races. I don't think he'll be as consistent as the others, but I think he can have one absolute blinder that will shock some people.
And like you said, he is rocks or diamonds.
Yeah.
He's either, like, we've seen it so much in the World Series, he was either winning the races or he was stone cold last, or he was just a bag of shit. Really.
Is this rocks or diamonds thing a triathlon saying, or is this just something that you
I kind of just said it because you said it. I haven't really heard it.
Haven't you heard rocks or diamonds?
No, I haven't.
It's another Port Macquarie saying.
Under pressure, obviously diamonds form.
Yes.
So he's either good or he's bad.
Oh,
he's one or the other, but he's not. He can't be both.
Interesting.
Just if you're good or you're shit.
Yeah, that's what I was gathering, but I like the under pressure. Gives it a different twist.
Yeah. So again, I think that's what they're doing is exactly what we want to see. We want to see a bit of beef. We want to see people calling out people. So we're off to a good start.
We are.
I'm all for it.
2025. It's getting exciting.
Yep.
And I've heard there's been like a change in like triathlon rules recently.
There was an announcement on World Triathlon put out a big announcement on a huge list of rulings. Like some just seem stupid. There was some big ones, and we'll talk about the big one in a second. But there were just some like no jewelry, no watches, clipped nails, just some like kind of. I just thought pretty dumb shit.
Why would they bring that up? Like, it's not a contact sport. What's the problem?
I mean, to be fair, in the swim, I used to wear rings, and I obviously can't now. But to be fair, my rings are
they look like knuckle dusters.
Yeah, so I guess if it's in terms of, obviously I would never do it, but if I was to clench fists
accidentally or
well, no, some people don't do it accidentally. Some people are out there to cause a bit of carnage.
You could knock someone out and then they could actually drown. It's quite dangerous.
Yeah, for sure.
It all came.
And again, I would
from
never do that.
The athletes committee, these rule changes,
right?
Suggestions.
Weird.
But then also they have the swim water quality lowered, which is actually I think a bit controversial because in where was it, Sunderland?
Yeah, Sunderland.
Last year they all got like all of the elites that raced that all got like really bad.
Sick.
Yeah, sickness like diarrhea.
There's
like
been
dysentery.
Yeah, well, there's been a lot of races in the last like couple of years where athletes have gone, raced, and then the weeks following have been violently ill, and that's been the big concern from athletes: is how are we expected to back up, weeks in, weeks out to train, compete if we're having to fight sicknesses because you're putting us in dirty water,
right?
And so they essentially have these tests that they do to test the water quality.
Yeah.
And the water quality has to meet a certain standard. And they've lowered that standard.
They've lowered that standard.
So
what? Why? Any theories?
Maybe it's to keep races going.
Yeah.
I think maybe like there's governments and city councils pumping so much money into these races. They don't want to lose a race because of the water quality.
Right.
I mean, you saw it at the Olympics where it got postponed by a day.
Yeah.
Do they really want to keep doing that? I mean,
that's true. I mean, the water's only going to get more polluted over time, right?
Yeah, for sure.
That's just how it goes.
Yeah, yeah. So I think that was probably up there as just a bit of a. I don't really understand their reasoning for that, especially when we've been so unhappy with the water quality
in the past.
And now it's just like, oh, okay, we'll put you at more risk.
Yeah,
maybe that was a weird one. But again, at the same time, if the race is on, I'm swimming in poo water.
Yeah,
is that true?
If the race is going ahead, I'm not going to pull out.
Right.
I'll swim if there's.
Yeah,
and you're swimming poo water. I'll be angry when I get sick, but like at the time, I'm still going to go do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, guys have spent enough money to go there and race. They want to race a proper triathlon as well. You don't want to race
a duathlon, like no swim. Yeah, for sure. So here we go. So the big one out of this, and this isn't just a topic in the sport of triathlon. This is something it's kind of taken over the world of sport and just the world in general. Yeah. This is probably the only topic that makes me nervous to talk about. There's not a lot that I won't talk about and openly share my opinion on. I think because this also isn't just about sport, it's political. And that's the transgender athletes competing in sport. We've had Donald Trump come out and give his opinion on it, and he also the NCAA have recently come out.
Yeah.
So he actually banned so he signed an executive order that prevents transgender women from competing in female categories of sport, is what Donald Trump did just recently.
Yeah. And the World Triathlon did the same. Or
not quite. So they have not banned transgender athletes at all. So they've pulled out new rules for this, for the different, due to it. And what they've said is essentially over a period of time of 4 years, transgender athletes will be assessed and then determined whether they can race within World Triathlon races.
Right. So they're going to check hormone levels.
Hormones. And this is all due to World Triathlon, and it's so scientific that there is not... World Triathlon has said essentially that there isn't much evidence within the whole sport and endurance sports for transgender people. So therefore, there's a lot on, strength and speed-based sports. There's already studies. But what they're trying to do is there's a 4-year eligibility period for transgender athletes to go through to then be able to race triathlon races. Yeah.
That's really interesting. So it kind of sets them back in a way over 4 years because they cannot get going.
Does that start now?
Tests.
None of them can. So a transgender athlete can't race for the next 4 years.
I'm not entirely sure when it came through, but I believe that the repercussions of what's happening we won't see for a distant while because it says that transgender athletes must give their biological profiles and do all this testing and race different races to then be signed off to be able to race.
Look, and again, we're here to share our opinions on it. And I guess my opinion for right now, and I want to make that clear, that's for right now, there isn't enough research. There hasn't been enough research done in this area to show that there isn't an unfair advantage for a male who has transitioned into a female, that there isn't some sort of unfair advantage that they're going to have.
And I'm pretty sure that's what World Triathlon are going down that line.
And that's not to say that, in no way should they be banned from racing. It shouldn't just be I don't know what you do in these circumstances. So I know British Triathlon, for example. I went and when I did a British Triathlon race last year or the year before or whatever, I actually didn't race in the male category. I raced in the other category. So British Triathlon have done it where they have the female category and the other category. Yeah. And I think that's a little bit because I'm a male. I'm very much a male. I identify as a male. That is my gender. So I want to race as a male, not an other.
Yeah. Well, World Triathlon have brought out for age group events, it is now an open category. So the male...
Oh, sorry, it was open. It was an open category. Yeah, you're right. Sorry.
So it's now called the open category.
Yeah.
And that consists of...
transgender athletes.
Males. Yeah.
Which is just disappointing because, again, and nothing... this is not me trying to say that transgender athletes don't have a right to race. It's not that at all. I don't know if you make a third category for transgender athletes, but like I said, I'm a male. I identify as a male. I want to race male athletes.
Don't you think it's a kind of a small price to pay though, really, just to be in a category called open or whatever, just to allow, trans people to give it a go kind of thing? Do you know what I mean? As a white male, you're tanned, actually. You're kind of tanned. You get a lot of privilege anyway. You know what I mean?
For sure. But, when we're talking about high performance sports, we're sacrificing so much to be in the position that we are in. So, it's like females have had to fight so hard to have equal opportunity in sport. I don't necessarily know if that's true in triathlon. I think it's always been a pretty equal...
Yeah, it's a newer sport.
It's a newer sport. So, you've obviously got that... you've got that factor in other sports. Dynamic, where, females...
Rugby league, females...
For sure, females are getting paid less. There's, less attendance, whatnot. So, I think to have females have... female athletes have fought so hard to be in the position that they are in already. And it's still... there's very much a long road ahead for female athletes to be in an equal position.
Playing field to males.
To males, for sure. So, it's we haven't even got that right yet. even fully got that right before we're now kind of trying to adjust again to another category.
It's definitely interesting, and especially as you brought up before with like new presidents elected like Donald Trump. Try America or USA haven't actually signed off on the World Triathlon Agreement yet.
They might not be allowed.
So yeah, whether they are allowed, whether it can go through at all it's all up in the air. But it's a very hot topic at the moment.
And again,
what way it will go? Will it go? Yeah,
we're not necessarily in a position to be like, it's not our job to be coming up with these sort of things either. We're athletes within the sport. We're going to have our opinion on it. We're friends with other female athletes, and it's not necessarily fair for our friends that are in the sport who are female to be potentially pushed to the side.
Yeah. Due
to this.
Yeah. It's a weird thing. Like you mentioned, maybe there should be another category. Like I as a female, it is a weird thing to have trans people competing against, other women, because I think, it is kind of unfair. And you mentioned bringing in a new, thing, maybe for trans to compete.
For sure.
But I think the problem with that trans community and having a separate thing apart from, the male and the female category is, again, like, setting them apart, or
not being
it's not inclusive in the way that they now have their own category as well. So it's like another discrimination, and that's why they get upset, because they're discriminated against enough already, and they feel separate from females and males as well. So I understand it.
I think that triathlon are very much on the forefront of this kind of thing, though, because it is such an inclusive sport as it is. So we have guys racing, you can race from 10 years old to 85. What other sport in the world does that? So I very much think that triathlon is probably one of those sports at the start that is very inclusive, and I think that's the way it'll keep tracking, to be fair.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of just also stuff that I've seen in the media and news reporters they keep trying to push and this is the one part I don't really agree on, is they keep trying to push what the basis of sport is community driven. We all want to come together as one. And it's like, yes, I believe if you're talking base level sports, it is about community and all having fun and growing and doing something. But we're not talking about base level sports here. We're talking about elite level.
That's where it gets tricky at the elite level.
Where do you sort of
draw the line
on, okay, there's the community aspect and the fun aspect, and then this is people's careers. People are sacrificing. This is professional. You're talking money, because as soon as money comes into it, it's
different.
Wouldn't that be more like targeted towards team sports as well, right? When you're running as a triathlete individual, it's probably less about community than it is for the team sport.
I beg to differ.
No, because I I definitely think the coaching, like my coaching squad, like they love it because of the community.
Yeah, exactly right. Like, why did we kind of get into the sport? Like, my brother never did triathlon. He's racing a 70.3 in Port this year. Yeah. Like it's all the community. All of his mates are doing it, like it's more community than probably what you think at the...
And again, at this level,
it's less.
It's less for sure. But I just don't really like that argument of it's a community base, because it's just not really at the elite level. It's not about that. It is a job. At the end of the day, like
it's about winning.
We make money off this. Like, this is a career, and why should people have to potentially put their dreams and aspirations
on hold or sacrifice that? Different things.
To maybe adjust how we go about this specific topic.
Mm-hmm.
So scary to talk about.
I know, scary to talk
about. I think it does need to get talked about, though, because it's massive in the media at the moment. Like, you see the NCAA, which has gone complete opposite direction to a sport like triathlon, where they've just
banned it.
They've just banned it point blank.
Yeah.
So
I think it's a much bigger problem in America, though. Yeah. We haven't seen many transgender athletes coming into the sport.
That's why I was going to ask you. Do you know anyone?
No, I don't know anyone.
I personally know.
No, I don't. I know one person at an age group level, but it was just I think it was one of my mum's friends. Like, it was just an age group level. But nobody in the elite section. But again, America, it's obviously gonna feel like they're always a step ahead of everyone else. So
the world leaders,
especially with Donald Trump at the helm.
Oh man, he's taking no prisoners. He's taking no prisoners. So that is the sweating. Oh,
that's that topic.
That is that topic. But
a big rule change that's going on in the world of triathlon and the world of sport at the moment. I think.
Yeah. Again, and I think so. Just to be clear, I think it's going to be an ongoing topic for a while.
100%.
It's still so new, so we can't really come up with a decision on what should happen, where their place should be.
Yeah,
I do personally believe that right now they are at an unfair advantage to be competing in the female. That is just my personal opinion, and I base that off. I would hate to see some really hardworking female athletes
not get a go,
not get a fair crack, and have their sort of dreams and aspirations maybe pushed back or pushed to the side because of this topic.
I don't know how we're going to come up with a solution, because to be fair, I don't know if there is a solution. There's no solution that's going to keep everybody happy.
Right.
And that was right there. That is like when I spoke to Leighton about this, I was like, there's nobody that you're not going to keep everyone happy with this.
Keep anyone happy.
No, you're either going to upset the transgender community by saying that there's no place for them, which again, we don't believe that, or we're going to upset the females for them by saying, they've worked so hard to be in the position they are now. All right, now let's bring in transgender athletes. And obviously I think quite a fair chunk of the female community have stood against that idea.
Yeah.
Now you guys are sweet though.
We're fine.
Dudes are fine.
It doesn't bother us.
Screw you.
So that's the big one. That is the big topic.
And the biggest topic, I think, the big thing of the week.
Oh, here we go.
Oh.
Abu Dhabi's on.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Let's get into the racing.
I was thinking, have you
your heart was beating.
Yeah, I was like, oh no, there's something bigger than that. This is what we've been super excited about all week, basically. Yeah. We're back into racing. First World Series of the year. Feels really early.
It does. Well, last year it got cancelled, didn't it?
Yeah. Last year's one got cancelled due to a storm.
Yeah. It rained heaps in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
In the desert.
When was that? We should have fact checked that. I feel like it wasn't this early.
I think it was around the same time.
Because
people flew over and then flew back.
Man, like, poor triathletes just... So we're starting racing. What is it now? Early Feb?
Yeah.
World Champs is in October?
Yeah.
That is such a long time to be on.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to be a World Series champion... You want to win the World Series, to be on from Feb to October. When are you having an off season? Oh, my battery's about.
And because you're training three times a day, didn't you say as well?
Yeah. I've already done 2. I got to go to my 3rd one after this. I'm tired. Like
no shit.
Yeah.
So Abu Dhabi, what's Abu Dhabi like to race it? Like a race at?
Never been there.
Oh.
We've
watched it. I think this. It as a spectacle, it looks awesome.
It's cool.
It's
on a racetrack.
No, but I don't like that.
Oh.
Why? Because do you think it's
the
too
roads
much of a
it's
built environment? Like
it's designed for cars going 300 kilometers an hour.
Yeah,
it's
fast.
I don't know if they actually go on that, but it's not designed for athletes riding 40. So like,
what is it? An autobahn?
It's an F1 track.
It's an F1 track.
Oh, it's an F1 track.
So they ride on the F1 track in Abu Dhabi.
Oh, no way.
Which sounds really cool.
Yeah.
And when I thought of it, looks really cool, but it's so open that you could be 4 minutes down and you can still see the leaders. And I don't like that. Okay. So like, I think because I love a breakaway and that's my sort of how I race.
Yeah.
I love to get out of sight, out of mind. You can't get out of sight. Here.
I feel as if the elements are a bit less in.
Yeah.
It's more of a controlled kind of environment. You don't have those little tight turns and stuff that are going to really break up the race.
Yeah. And again, because even though they are like, turning on the race course.
Sweeping bends.
Well, yeah. And it's such a big road
fast.
because it's built for a car. It's not built for cycling.
Yeah.
So it tends to come together a lot. It tends to be a bit of a running race. They run fast, to be fair.
Very
They've run
fast,
some rapid times, but in terms of watching it, it's a little bit boring for me. But I still think with athletes that are on the start list, I think it could be a pretty exciting running race.
Yeah. How do you think the race is going to go? Give us your little prediction and then we'll go into our podium picks.
Yeah, sweet. So again, we kind of just touched on it. I think the men's pretty exciting because you've got some young boys coming up. You've got your Matty Hauser, Ben Dykstra, Max Stapley, Schomburg's in there. So there's some strong swimmers. And you also got like Ricardo Batista. You've just got a Henry Graffs in there as well. So you've got some young boys coming up, giving it a crack. And I really hope that they just like take the bull by the horns and just run with their strengths. They're good swimmer cyclists. Hopefully they really go for it. But again, you're going to have Hayden Wild there. There's just too many guys that are good on the bike
and run. Yeah.
And again, when you got Hayden Wild coming from the back, he's just going to come through and tow everyone up.
100%.
So
that's what I see happening. I see a little break out of the water, couple seconds, getting reeled back in, and then your runner's running. So
Casper Stornes is there as well.
Yeah.
I don't see it being a huge swim bike. It's a sprint distance, so like that's exciting. But
I think the gap out of the water won't be enough. So
it's gonna be 30 seconds max. Yeah.
Go on, give us your podium.
All right, so this is my predicted podium. I just can't see anyone stopping Hayden Wild. Yeah. I just think...
Big fan of the show.
Yeah, Hayden Wild, super fan. I just can't see anyone stopping him. It's his first race of the year. He's just going to come out and have a blinder. Again, based off what we just said. It's going to be a running race. Second one, and I picked him to have a bit of a breakout year. I think he's going to have an Alex Yee moment from 2019, and that's Hugo Milner.
Ooh.
I know. And again... He could be a really nice guy. I've got absolutely nothing against him, but I just hate how he races because he's purely a runner. Like he's just an incredibly fast runner.
And envious of his run.
I'm just envious of his run. That's really it. And I know that if I'm getting off the bike with him, I can't stop that.
Yeah.
I think he's just going to have a day. He'll sit at the back of the bike pack. He'll make T2. He'll probably be last out of T2
and
onto the run
past everyone.
But he'll just fly on that run. So I've got him running into second, and then I've got our boy Matty Hauser rounding out the podium in third. I think he's just a rapid 5K runner. He's just so quick. He's going to be in the front pack. He'll be one of the first out of the water. He'll be one of the first off the bike.
Is that how long the run is? At the
5K.
5K, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's a sprint.
Oh, so that's sprint. People are proper running.
They're running. They're going to run like
14:30,
14:20.
Yeah,
like really
that's
quick.
Going to be winner.
Yeah, they're going to be really quick. So yeah, that's my podium. Hayden Wild, Hugo Milner, Matty Hauser.
Okay, so I've gone a bit different.
Mm-hmm.
I've got Vasco Vilasa. I think he ran really quick in 2023 when they last raced there, and I think he's only gone better since then. So I think he's going to take it out.
Okay.
I've got Hayden Wild in second. You can't count that guy out.
You think he's going to outrun Hayden?
I just have a feeling Hayden's going to have to work hard to get onto that bike, and he's going to tow such a big pack. And I reckon Hayden's going to try and attack. After he one of those commentators going harder. I mean, I think he's going to have a crack on the bike. And then I've gone Manuel Messias, the Brazilian. I don't know if I've pronounced that one right.
Oh, Messias.
Messias,
Oh, not Hidalgo. Is Hidalgo on there?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, no, I can sit. Messias got second one or third.
He got third in 2023, so I've picked two of the podium from 2023. Alex Yee isn't racing.
Yeah.
But I think those guys are just so rapid on the run.
Yeah, Messias is quick.
That they'll run through, and with a bit of like a bike catching the front pack, I think that'll be the podium.
Okay. I don't agree with you for like the win, but I can see Messias running
on the podium.
Yeah. I'm surprised if you think that you're not going to pick Hugo. He's so quick.
I don't know.
I just think
I want to see him race first. First few races, and then I think he'll come into the season a bit more.
Well, you know what the bet is for this. But you know what the bet is. So for anybody that doesn't, no, we've already agreed to this, so you can't say.
That's what I was about to say. I'm like, do you guys want to put some money on it?
No,
make it
it's not money. What we agreed was, and I thought we did, but we're going to agree. If if one of our picks gets up, so say my pick gets up, and I get, should we say the winner, or does it have to be all three?
Or maybe majority on the podium or something.
Yeah, okay. So if I get more on the podium than you get on the podium, then you have to do the whole next recording in your tri-suit.
Okay, done.
Yeah. And you have to stand up so we can see it all.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, it's the same view.
I'll rep the tri-suit.
Nah.
Yeah. The loser
Yeah.
has to wear their tri-suit.
Oh, of course. Yeah, the loser has to wear the tri-suit.
Does it have a zip in the front?
Nah, zip at the back.
Oh,
the back.
bummer.
Bummer.
Literally.
Alrighty, so the women, you go first. What do you
Okay,
think?
so I've gone the women. I think with the T100 taking out a few women, it's going to come together. It's going to stay together more than what the men's is. So I'm just going to run over it pretty quickly. I think it's going to go exactly the same.
Yeah, I think we both.
It's going to be a run race.
We know how this is going to go.
I've gone Jean Lahair.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's going to come out rapid. I've gone the American, Gwen Jorgensen. I backed her at the start of the year.
Yeah.
I've got to back her again.
Did you say she was going to be on the World Series?
I
overall?
said she was going to overall podium this year.
in the overall series.
Yeah, it was a bold shout.
Did you have her winning?
Or first or second.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I'm
just
going
don't like
Gwen
her.
Jorgensen. I think
I feel
don't know.
bad because she could be a really nice girl, but I just don't want her to do well.
I reckon she's going to go well. And then I have Tilda Manson. She's young, and
Yeah.
I think off last year.
Yep.
She can run with them as well. She can run away with it.
Yeah,
So-
I rate her. There's only one that I've got the same. So again, I think we all know how this is gonna go.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a
Clearly not, because you both got different answers.
no. I think we know how the race is gonna pan
out.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be
Oh.
it's gonna be a boring swim bike. And they're just gonna
I'll
run.
come down to the run
down
at
to
the
the
end.
run.
I see. Well, that's
Yeah.
a good thing, isn't it? Right? Well, it gets super
No.
exciting at the end. Like,
Yeah, maybe. But I got Lisa Tersch winning, the German.
Yeah.
Again, I think I had her coming third in the overall series, so I think she's gonna come out quick here. Again, small girl, rapid runner. I do have Gwen Jorgensen coming second.
Yes.
I do. It
I
hurt.
like that.
It hurt me to put her there, but she is just a quick runner.
She's got that run pedigree.
She's got that
What?
run pedigree.
wait, sorry. Can you remind me what the problem is with Gwen? What is
it's
it?
weird. I just like she was really, really good back in the day, and I just think she's had her time.
Oh,
She's come back. She went off to try be good at running.
right.
She didn't quite achieve what she wanted, and she's I don't know.
This is the one that the commentator
The
always talks
commentator
about.
loves her.
Yeah.
Maybe it's that because I just know if she's there, I'm just gonna have to hear him talk about her again. It's I don't know.
All right.
Yeah, she's just a little bit annoying.
So-
And number 3, Leonie Perriot.
Okay.
Perriot, the French girl, another just rapid runner. Like
Yeah.
she's quick and she's got a bit of a run pedigree on her. She's known as a runner. So I just think she'll run into third. It was hard. I felt bad not putting Kate Woff on there.
Yeah, I just think on the bike she'll probably do too much work, and she's also racing that T100. So I think focus is going to be a bit drifted this year.
Yeah.
I also want to do a special mention for like an honourable mention.
Mm.
Did you see Cassandra Beaugrand's 5K French national record? She ran a 14:58 or something
Sub
like that.
15 minutes.
Yeah,
Like-
crazy.
So the female Olympic champion and world champion from last year, Cassandra Beaugrand,
Yeah, I know the one.
sub 15 minute 5K. So she broke the French
National.
5K road run.
Is that a world record?
No, it wouldn't be a
not
world record. But just for a female triathlete to go sub 15,
That's huge.
there's some guys that wouldn't go sub 15.
Yeah.
Like in the top, probably 200.
You're saying
Yeah.
sub 15, you mean less than 15 minutes?
15
Yeah, sub
yeah.
15
To
minutes.
run 5K.
Yeah.
To run
That's
5K.
insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, there's been some disgustingly quick run times from some. Oh, my laptop's on.
Yeah.
Close it.
I'm not gonna go off.
Just
script.
wing it now.
Go off script. There's been some incredibly quick run times. You
Yeah.
see Reece Venison as well. Reece Venison ran 5K indoor and he ran 13:47.
Yeah, that's
13 minutes 47.
right.
Like, look out, World Triathlon. Like,
Yeah.
that is, he's what, 17, 18? That is so quick.
It makes me think, are some of these guys just going to go running and just
But
leave the sport
what-
post?
Yeah.
Post-Olympics
What
race.
makes me more nervous is this going to be a shift in the sport where you had that Brownlee brothers and Javier Gomez era where the swim and bike was so strong,
Yeah.
and it was an exciting swim bike run race. Like you had these guys leading out of the water, but they were also the fastest runners, and they would just kill you on the bike. So there was like
There's no in between.
you didn't have
Yeah.
room for a weakness.
Yeah.
Where guys like Reece Venison, there's other guys, Hugo Milner. Usually now, the guys that are really strong at running, they aren't necessarily the best swimmers or bikers. They sort of just hang on, and if they're in the front pack, lucky them, they can run to a win. It's going to be pretty upsetting if that does start to flip and the swim bikers start to filter out a little bit.
Yeah, I think definitely just the run pedigree that's come into triathlon is
how do you match
next
it?
level.
How
it's next level. You've got pure runners coming into the sport. And
how does someone like Dylan McCulloch, who we've spoken about before, being such a phenomenal swim biker, how does he stay away?
I think the only way they stay away now is analyse exactly the same.
Yeah.
And that's the only way that's going to go. You've actually got to be swim bike that dominant.
Yeah.
Or the runners are going to run away for the win. Or you've got to be a pure runner.
Did you call it allies?
Like an ally in the race.
Like I know I'm a swim biker, so I know that me and Dylan are going to line up almost subconsciously going, we're on a team today. Because we need to get away from Hugo Milner and Reece Vanneson, who we know are going to probably run 30 seconds quicker than us.
Yeah.
So we know that we need to get 45 seconds up the road on them.
Yeah, and so what does it mean when you're as a team or whatever? Does it mean you bump each other up, or you just know you're going to be together? Or
you just kind of know that I know his strength is the swim and bike. He knows my strength is the swim and bike, but we know those guys are really, really good runners. So for us two to have any chance of winning this race, we both need to work together here, and then we'll battle our run out together, essentially. So
how can you?
It's better off being a pack of.
How do you work together
on the bike? Draft legal.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you take turns
drafting. Yeah.
So when you're behind someone, the draft, it's almost like 60% easier.
Right.
When you're riding behind someone, so someone's pulling a turn at 100% whatever, you're 60% better off.
Understood. And is it the same with swimming as well, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
Sitting on someone's drafts like drafting off a boat.
Interesting.
Sort of thing.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. So you're essentially working together to try get away from the faster runners so that you have a better chance of. I would rather go toe to toe, and this is nothing against Dylan McCulloch, a phenomenal runner as well, but I'd rather go toe to toe with Dylan McCulloch than go toe to toe with Hugo Milner.
Yeah. You have
my odds are probably better, and he would agree. But at the same time, I also need to just make sure I can swim and bike with Dylan as well, because he is a phenomenal swimmer biker.
You know what I spent quite a while trying to think of then? Have you guys ever done the city to surf in Sydney?
No.
You've never done it?
Nah, but that's a bit of a bucket list one. That's pretty cool.
Is it?
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
I've done it once.
Oh.
And I was trying to remember how, because it's a 14-kilometer race.
Yeah.
Run, just the run.
It's all up the hills, isn't it?
Yeah, well, they do Heartbreak Hill and stuff. And I was trying to remember how long it took me. I think I would have been 21 at the time or something, but I think it took me 2 hours. So trying compare that to 15 minutes as people are doing on 5 kilometers. I'm doing shitloads more than that. I'm slow. I think I ran for 5K and then I was I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I walked the rest
That'll
of
do
it.
me. That'll do me.
Get the medal.
It was enough for me. Just get
straight to the pub.
I would literally a big fat hot dog and a beer.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't have the run sheet, so I don't know what's next.
Nothing is next. We're finished, bro. We're done.
Yeah, okay, cool. Alrighty, so that's Abu Dhabi, absolutely wrapped up, done and dusted. I can't wait to see Leighton in a tri-suit next week, recording.
I can't wait to see you in a tri-suit.
All right, buddy.
Maybe we should get you something a bit more rogue to wear instead of tri-suit.
I think we should get
find something.
We should get a custom made, pink, hot pink. Nah, but that sucks because I look good in hot pink.
Get off it.
I would love to see you both in tri-suits.
Yeah.
Follow the Unfunded podcast.
Has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah, I was about to say, Sarah, calm down.
Yeah, sorry.
Alrighty, well, that's all for today's episode. I can't wait to hear all about Leighton's Valentine's Day date.
And yours.
Yep.
I gotta stop bringing that up.
Yeah.
I want to hear all of this. And also, we should let people know to send us an email, theunfundedpodcast at gmail.com if they want to hit us up.
Send a DM, those big fans.
If you want to be like Hayden Wild, if you want to be just like Hayden Wild, then DM us.
What is our Instagram? Do you guys know now?
At the Unfunded Podcast.
No.
The Unfunded Pod.
Nice. You got it.
Yeah, it's because he's promoted it. Absolutely zilch. He hasn't done any promotion for the video. What are we podcast?
What are we doing?
We're a podcast.
Yeah. Oh, we're on video as well.
And YouTube coming out soon.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Are you going to promote that?
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Big YouTuber.
No, you're not.
Big
All right.
YouTube guy.
Thanks, guys.
Let's cut it.